So here we have Helen Sharman, just taking a quick look at her the other night. Starting off quite well. This is really the best angle to analyse Helen's stroke, um, as most of the other areas are essentially pretty good. Body position is fine, breathing is good. Breathing solely to the left shoulder, which could be an indicator of why she's getting shoulder pain. As it can develop uh, into the shoulders through imbalances through the neck. If you're doing this over, a few kilometers, 3 kilometers every few days, it can potentially be a cause of that. So I would suggest bilateral breathing, at least some of the bilateral breathing through warm-ups. Certainly breathing very comfortably there. Good exhalation. Head tilt is fine. Keeping one goggle in the water the whole time. I think it might just balance things up a little bit. So the main reason this angle is good is because we can just see that the start of that catch arm there comes in and glides down, but it also sways outside a little bit and not really engaging the elbow until quite late through the stroke. So we want to sort of come in and almost imagine that there's a ball there and we're trying to get our arm over the top of that rather than push through it. So you can see the arm coming down. So what we'd like to see is the upper arm here, lower arm here, and the hand here. So it doesn't engage till quite late. And the reason for that is straight arms primarily use the shoulder, overuse the shoulder as well. They're quite a small muscle group through the deltoids as opposed to the back. So when we have our arm in a slightly different position, we engage the lats and the big strong muscles of the back. So good drills to do and do properly are sculling, where you simply have your upper arm out to the side and the forearm moves back and forth. The upper arm stays still. And long dog, so reach and roll, and try and imagine there's a big ball there and you've got to try and get your upper arm over the top of it. In terms of angle, it's not a perfect video by any means, but it does give us some idea, and we can sort of see Helen coming. That's probably about the best shot there. So hand just outside the line of the shoulder there. If you say there's the shoulder, you really want your hand to enter and then pull down that line from shoulder to hip, like that. We can just sort of have a look at that angle a little better. So about 131. So it should be between 100 and 120, around that. Basically meaning your lower arm's in a good position, but your upper arm needs to come higher in the water. So keeping your elbow up towards the surface more. So there is a slight, looks like you're slightly more powerful on your right arm pull through than your left. As you turn to breathe there, you sort of relax from this position here. We can just note the forearm and the hand are quite relaxed and they sort of slip out rather than a full push back. So that long dog is a good drill for that as well, really pushing back down towards the base of the thigh. Okay, so breathing timing looks okay. Could possibly do a bit of work on your timing of your stroke and your breathing. It's quite cyclic, as if you were running or riding a bike. It's almost like you're pedaling. So swimming is a little bit different to that, in that you want to accelerate the stroke through the catch. Similar to rowing in that respect. So it's a one 1-2 movement, if you know what I mean. So typically longer arm swimmers tend to have that, so I wouldn't stress out too much about it, but it is slightly off. Okay, so the main things then, Helen, is just working on that arm catch. Imagine there's a ball under each arm, and you're trying to bend that elbow over the top of it. That would be my main thing. Number 2 would be during your warm up. Certainly 400 or 500 meters, or even a K, just bilateral breathing. That might ease some shoulder issues that you're having. And then thirdly would just simply be trying to improve those drills, long dog and sculling.